This is Pearl Schorr of Brooklyn, New York. She has 3 sons, 8 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Grandma Schorr is in her 80s now, but she still has the energy to prepare fabulous meals for her family. And today she's going to show us how to make one of her specialties, gefilte fish. It takes 2 days to make gefilte fish, and it all starts with the shopping. Grandma Schorr walks a few blocks over to Avenue J in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn to buy the 3 kinds of fish that are needed to make gefilte fish.
I like to have a white fish and a yellow pike and a piece of cup. It should be about 5-6 pounds.
5-6 pounds.
Good fresh fish should be kept under ice at the market. The fish should also have vivid skin color, and the eyes should be bright, clear, and bulging. To make 20 pieces of gefilte fish, you'll need 2 3/4 pounds of both yellow pike and white fish, and about half a pound of carp. The fish is then taken to the back of the Avenue J fish market, where it is cleaned and filleted. Be sure to also keep the fish heads and bones, and as you can see, it helps to have an experienced person cutting your fish.
Как его спросить? Гриша, на морду не помещается в объектив. Как его спросить?
Where'd you learn to do this?
This?
Yeah.
America.
How many years have you been doing it?
12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
And what kind of fish is this?
It's a white fish.
This is the white fish, okay.
Yes. This is the white fish. This is the yellow pike.
So with that knife, I have to be nice to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very nice to you. The 3 kinds of filleted fish are then put through a grinder. And as you can see, gefilte fish is not one kind of fish, but a combination of 3 fish. So that's all the fish ground, right?
Right. Everything is ground. See? Now we go pack it, huh? Give it in the bag and go home.
And finally, it's time to pay for the fish and say goodbye to the men at the market.
Okay, boys, let's go.
Okay.
Bye.
Keep walking out.
Come again.
Home for Grandma Schorr is East 7th Street, and here in her kitchen, she starts preparing the fish.
In 1944, I made the first time the fish. And it was very salty. That's it.
Grandma starts by discarding the fish eyes, and then she washes the fish heads and bones that she brought home from the market. The heads and bones will be used to flavor the broth for the gefilte fish. Next, Grandma sprinkles kosher salt on the filleted ground fish and mixes it all together.
This is done. Now I'm gonna salt the bones. I put salt on the bones. Now I'm all through. Now I'm putting them in the refrigerator till tomorrow. And that's it. Tomorrow I'm going to cook it.
Grandma has the salted bones and heads in one pot and the salted ground fish in another. Both are refrigerated overnight. So that ends the first day of preparing the gefilte fish. And now it's time to take a break.
Now, Bruce, I'll give you lunch.
On the following day, Grandma will finish making the gefilte fish, and as you will see, the cook was in a very good mood.
How do I look?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah, you look great.
You mean it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. I take a terrible picture, you know that.
No, you look great.
This time I look good?
Oh, you look really good.
That's all.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate, you have to say, I really appreciate the compliment you give me.
Grandma starts the day by preparing the broth. She peels and cuts 4 carrots, then she thickly slices 4 yellow onions. The carrots and onions go into a pot with the salted fish bones and heads. 4 cups of water should be added, and then everything in the pot should simmer for half an hour. Make sure the water level is slightly above everything in the pot. After this is done, it's time to make the gefilte fish patties. As you can see, Grandma starts by grating 1 raw yellow onion into the ground fish.
I'm really crying. No, I'm really crying. Now I'm putting in a little oil in the fish. Okay, this I put in. Okay?
I hope you notice the amount of oil Grandma put in the fish.
Listen to me, listen what I'm doing now. This is important. Now I'm putting in matzo. I'm putting in 3 spoons of matzo.
3 heaping tablespoons.
Tablespoons. Okay? You got it?
Yep.
Now I'm going to put in a little pepper. Pepper, how much pepper should I say I put in? I have a teaspoon.
Grandma, that may have been half a tablespoon.
Okay. Now I'll put in a little sugar. Wait, I'll tell you how much sugar I'm putting in. A teaspoon sugar. A teaspoon.
1 heaping teaspoon.
Got it?
Got it.
And now I'm going to put in 4 eggs.
Now it's time to mix all the ingredients together. Now, why do you do this with your hands? Is it more effective that way?
I wouldn't do it, no, this is better than hands. So otherwise, that's why I wash my hands, Bruce. I'm not doing it, because when I do it with the spoon, I don't like it. It wouldn't come out like this. You mash them up with your hand. If nobody wants to do it with the hand, it's their problem. This is the way I do it.
And how do you know you're done? Just when it's all mixed together?
Wait, I want to see because the matzo meal clogs up a little, makes a little bumpy. I don't like it. So I make it very mushy, nice and mushy. And now I'm going to taste them too if it needs something, or if it needs salt or pepper.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. How's it taste?
Delicious. Really delicious. Delicious fish. It's definitely delicious.
Grandma then adds a few drops of water to improve the consistency of the fish, and after mixing the fish a little more, she is ready to make the gefilte fish patties. Here, Grandma presses a ball of fish in her hands, then shapes it into an oval patty. She decorates the fish with a carrot slice by pressing it into the patty. Grandma then gently places the patty on top of the fish heads and bones in the simmering broth. The patty should rest one on top of the other, not all will be completely submerged in the broth. Next, it's time to taste the broth to see if it needs any more flavoring. It might need some salt, pepper, or sugar. Then cook it for 2 hours and check periodically to see that a gentle simmer is maintained. After 2 hours, turn the flame off the stove and let everything cool for 15 minutes. Then it's time to take the gefilte fish patties out of the pot. Now, were you a good cook when you first got married?
If I was a good cook,
Were you a good cook when you first got married?
if I had found something to cook, I was lucky I had something to cook.
Now Grandma carefully takes the gefilte fish out of the pot and sets the patties aside to cool. It's important to be gentle because the fish is fragile and might fall apart. You should also check the fish later when it's cool for any clinging bones. A sufficiently cooked piece of gefilte fish should be slightly springy to the touch. Next, it's time to strain and reserve the cooking broth. Here, Grandma pours everything into a strainer with a pot underneath. Then she gently presses the fish heads, bones, and vegetables into the strainer, which adds flavor and substance to the broth. And now here is the finished broth, which cools to room temperature along with the gefilte fish patties. Then the broth should be poured onto the gefilte fish and refrigerated overnight. On the following day, Grandma serves her fabulous gefilte fish to her family. Overnight, the broth has become a gelatin-like substance, and it should be served on the same plate with the gefilte fish patty. And don't forget some horseradish, which will add some extra flavor to the fish. Grandma makes gefilte fish for the major Jewish holidays, but today it is being served just for the family's enjoyment. So now it's time to taste the fish.
You want? No. Are you going to grab? I'm going to start too. How's everybody liking the fish?
Oh, very good.
No, this fish, not joke. This fish happened to be the best I ever made.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Not joke.
I may have a little more.
Oh, surely, anytime.
This is gorgeous.
I'm telling you, Jim, I make fish twice, 3 times a year. But this fish happened to be the best.
And Grandma, thank you for showing us how to make gefilte fish. You're a special lady, and we love you very much.